Hollywood, California. So good to be back here in the spacious, well, not spacious, let's be honest, it's cozy. As Greg Proops would say, the cozy and salubrious confines of Meltdown Comics. Once again, Harmontown is now in session. Let's welcome Spencer Crittenden to the stage, shall we? Hello, Spencer. And the mayor of Harmontown, Mr. Dan Harmon.
Sorry, young man, sorry. Hello. Ooh, spooky. It's scary here tonight. It's scary every year, all the time this year. That's everything gets so scary, Jeff.
You went on a haunted hayride last night.
I did go on a haunted hayride, yeah. It was scary finding out I can't sit cross-legged anymore. Oh, the ghost of your 30s. You didn't even know they were dead.
Wait, your knees were aching or what?
I just couldn't. Okay, here's what the haunted hayride is. So I didn't even. Thank you for bringing up the haunted hayride. This is amazing. I had nothing.
You've missed proper controlling since I've been away here.
Oh, damn! Shots fired, Curtis Armstrong.
Talking to you,
the K-12 dude. So okay, come on, no tangents if you're a man of your word.
My job is to keep you on a straight thread all the way through to the finish line here.
Yeah. We've got an important show tonight. Everything has been hammered out. And if I wander, it's a crime, and it ain't mine. I ain't doing the time. Squeeze your ass like a piece of lime. I fucked your mama so hard, she gave me an extra dime. I said, I'm gonna call you. I'm drawing a line. All right, so... Yes, that's great. You're right to applaud. It's absolutely... I have nothing but respect for you. The more that you encourage me, because it means you're good people, because I love myself. All of that was sarcasm, but don't worry about it. You're fine. You know that we're all smoke and light. This is I'm killing. Or you're the worst. Anyways, sorry, that got to you. I'm channeling Andy Kindler because he's here tonight. I feel like I'm like biting some of his.
You're not a large
nuance.
enough vessel to hold the majesty that is Andy Kindler.
No, nobody is. I'm just saying, like I'm doing some like some weird. Like I'm such a fan that I'm kind of like I wouldn't discount the idea that I'm kind of like enchanted and sort of like have a Kindler spell cast on me.
Yeah, I think when Andy Kindler enters the room, if you have any antenna at all, they're hitting a certain frequency of high speed, alacrity, cunning.
And the double, triple, quadruple self-awareness that turns into such self-denial that it's like a swirling...
I think we can say that if he doesn't come out here and give us the greatest comedy show of all time...
All right.
Then I've got him pegged all wrong.
So yeah, he went out. He went to get a sandwich.
He's right there.
It's fine. Oh, okay. So the haunted hayride... Okay, so you go on it. Doesn't matter. As you can imagine,
for me, the haunted hayride is a thing that just haunts my ability to get home in Los Feliz. Because it clogs up traffic from the 5 all the way to my place.
I don't drive anymore, but I went there, and you're being driven. You know, there's a tractor when you're there. That's the irony, is that you're driving and you're like going slower than the tractor.
Are you sitting on physical hay, proper hay?
Yeah, there's hay. But there's no chairs. So that's the thing. Is
you can't put a chair on hay.
But here's the thing about hay and not having chairs and hay rides. Even haunted ones, I would have assumed before the 2 nights ago. That they're like, I don't know why you'd be riding on hay, but I know that you wouldn't be doing it with 65 people.
No, it should be you and Terry Garr and
it should be you and Terry Garr or Andy Kindler or like Mike Nesmith. I don't care who it is, as long as there's 4 to 8 of them.
That would be a fucking good hayride.
you, Kindler, Terry Carr, and Mike Nesmith. You guys are going to have to Google 3/4 of that to find out why it would be dynamite. You're going to love it. Like when I called him the Knievel of Kvetch, I'm like, what? Just Google. But it's hay. So what happens is
it loose? I'm picturing like a hay wagon.
It's loose hay. It's loose, slippery, like effectively lubricating hay. It's not bales of tightly bound, healthy dog shit, like firm, like nobody's fed it table scraps. It's like
you've revealed some of your own backstory on that.
No, I have. Well, the fact that my dog takes nice, firm, healthy poops, and that even just stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the things that you're used to. All right, just stop. So everybody, just let me get to the
My name is Humpty.
There's nothing. Like there was one thing. So about the chain link. There was a chain link area when you stand in line and you get into there's a chain link area right before you're getting into the hay cart, and they have it all worked out. They've been doing this for a long time. Not the scary parts, but the crowd control parts. The scary parts are apparently decided on by committee 3 weeks before each thing. And I don't even know. I walked out with so many questions. I was like, are they just upset about school shootings? Is that why they just threw like random shit out there and just hoped it was a little scary but not upsetting? Like it was like a mildly uncomfortable hayride. I would not call it haunted in the least by anything. Like except for the ghost of pride and craftsmanship. I mean, that was certainly there. Like going, remember me? You forgot me. And I was like, no, the ghost of there's too many ghost jokes that I.
Wait, so take me through it. Like, so you're cruising along. I'm imagining at like 1 mile an hour as you're going through various little townships.
I have something to tell you about before that, though.
Okay.
Because you're in line. And I was actually happy to be. There was VIP tickets for like $5 more, where you can like walk past people. And I'll do that I would do that. Under normal circumstances, I would pay 500 times more than you would for the fun of walking around you. If I had to walk 8 more times the distance. I would just be so happy just to be moving. I would just walk around you and be rich. I am not a man of the people. But I did not buy a VIP ticket on purpose because I was so high. I was scared that I was going to get scared, because I said, Dino, I don't like the people touching you. And he said, they can't touch you. They can't touch you. They're not allowed to touch you. Which is like the scariest thing in the world. They're not allowed to touch you. It sounds a little scary, but then they keep repeating that. They don't touch them. They won't touch you. They're not allowed to touch you. You're not allowed to touch them. It's like being at Jonestown. Like it's just like, but there's like, and then there's like these like, okay, so you go through the line and then you get into this chain link area that's designed to hold not the number of people but the volume of flesh. When the chain link thing right before you get on the hay cart is full of human tissue, they close it behind the last person after they've shamed the front people. Come on, move in. And I thought the guy at first, I was like, oh, is he like a bad UCB or IO guy doing like a Southern character to like create an air of like, because otherwise he's like in the middle of Los Angeles, like bossing people around who are drunk and high and thought it would be funny if they paid you to try to scare me, motherfucker. And like, and I thought that's actually brilliant that they've adopted like this Southern thing. This is like something that people in LA are like maybe like, oh shit, I saw those movies. I'm not gonna fuck with this guy.
This guy's Ned Beatty.
But he was too authentic and too unfunny to have been trained in anything. And because he kept doing these jokes, he's like, "All right, people." So you get into this chain link, like just like this chain link like cauldron, because when the doors open, then you're going to get on the hay cart. Oh, it's going to be so fun when you get on the hay cart. So then you're there, and then this guy, just like Peanut style, has his forearms over the top of the chain link fence, looking down at you, and he has a little baby bullhorn because you're not that far away. And he goes like, "Okay, people, got a couple rules for you. You're going to have a good time, but you got to follow these rules. Do not touch the actors. I repeat, do not touch the actors. That goes for touching them." And then he would like do some bit, and I don't even remember the bit. That's how unfunny. And nobody laughed. And it was like, and then you go like, do not stand when you're on the hay cart. Keep all of your arms and hands down by your 4-point landing. That, in other words, that is your gluteus maximus, your butt, your sugar shaker, your flim flam. I made it funnier than he did. Like he tried to his joke was that he was talking hip hop or something like for at the end. So everyone's just like kind of bummed out, and they're like, "Yes, we got it. Like those are not unimportant rules. We're glad you told them to us. Like we're not snarky." I thought I was with a group of enlightened people. Like when nobody was causing trouble. Nobody
was he dressed spooky? What was he dressed?
He was dressed like a hillbilly. Like they were all. It's a tractor driven. It's a tractor themed horror experience. It's. I think you've all when you think of horror staples, you think of farm equipment like chainsaws to cut down trees. Who would have thought those could be scary? Well, everybody, because they can cut people and have. But pitchforks, who would have thought that? Well, because they stab people. Tractor rides. Get in the tractor. This tractor isn't haunted. It's just taking a break between its normal tractor functions while going through a haunted area. That's like, there's a tractor pulling me. It's like nothing's scary when you're being pulled by a tractor. So there's nothing scary. Rosemary's Baby. What if she had been on a tractor going through the movie? I was like, your baby's special. We want to. I think our neighbors are cultists, but we're on a tractor. So who cares? Like Jaws. Oh God, this wasn't a boat accident. I don't know. If he tries to bite us, he'll probably break his teeth on the tractor. We're on a tractor.
You won't even need a bigger tractor.
You won't. Don't encourage him. It's my show.
Encourage me. I've been away for a while. Encourage me.
So here's the only thing. I can't believe you brought this up. I just didn't even. Because I really remembered this, and it's like so. It was me and Dino, and I was like, so we're like, yeah, we understand the rules. So then this guy, then there was some hustle over here. Like there was some business happening over here on the outside of the cage, and he's like, huh? What? Okay, Shelby, because he realized, and I want you to remember that moment, because at first he was going to do it loudly.
Into his mini bullhorn?
But what you'll find in this story is that the matter he needed to attend to demanded some respect and privacy. So he shot Shelby, we got a little handicap over here. No, I need so we got to know second round. Let's go 65. No, not 67, because it's two. We got a little handicap situation. And I'm like, I go, okay, look, not when he wants you to look. Now that it's been all this time, look. And it's just, well, what did I see? A human being in a wheelchair who is having the scariest night of their life now. The night they feared since the moment, whether it was birth or whatever ailed them, would happen. Which is the dumbest people in the world swarming around them, calling them a little handicap. And everyone being fine with it while they claw at chain link, just struggling for a view of the little handicap. I was fucking blown away. And I thought at that point, I was like, well, we're certainly not in the hands of people who care about our feelings, and that's scary. But they are very rule-oriented, so that undercuts it. You can't touch anybody. No one can touch you. Go to our website if you feel touched. Get in the thing. And then everyone's like wearing clown masks and like trying to do these bits that are based on like a different world where probably it didn't have to be said constantly that no one could touch you. And it's like, and probably there was like, I feel like over the years as epidemics of violence in our country like increased and the committees that run this thing changed around, I feel like I imagine that an explanation of what I experienced that night, that the lights gradually got brighter and that the actors gradually got more and more scolded for certain turns of phrase, and it just results in just these people just like that are just as dumb as someone who might be able to scare you real good. Like nothing scarier than a dumb fuck. Like with your money in suspenders, like fucking hanging out, like in Charlie. Have you ever been to a carnival ever in the last 38 years? That's terrifying. The last thing you see is like, all right, hold tight, keep your shoes, and he pulls his lever, and you're like hearing these bolts that you know he doesn't understand just creak and strain, and you're just remembering all of these articles, and you're like trying to figure out if they're apocryphal. What are the rates? Where am I on this chart? Why is there a rope across my belly? I've been on the Batman ride. I know what you're capable of. I know you're capable of making me safe. Why is everything so wooden? That when it rains, I've had decks. Do you check it every day? Everything's wood. Why is everything wood? Like, so my point being, you could be scary just for nothing, just by being a hick and hanging out.
So when the thing embarks,
but they're all bound by this code, so they're just sort of like doing this show.
When the hayride kicks off and you leave the station and you're going out there, are you just passively writing through little tableau?
So then you all file in and stand shoulder to shoulder. They keep yelling at you that you're not. That as close as you feel you are, that you're not close enough to each other, but they can't touch you and you can't touch them. But, you know, welcome to fucking Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. And like just imagine if you got on that thing with the wrong combination of people. I was like, thank God for the wonderful people that were on there with me. Mike Nesmith, Terry Garr, Rick Schroeder, Norm Macdonald, Lil Wayne, Stevie Nicks, two Baldwins, but one of them was the sexist non-Baldwin. You know that guy's not a real Baldwin. I just found that out.
Fake Baldwin?
I lost my faith in the Baldwin name. He's not a Baldwin. He's some guy named Baldwin. He's not a Baldwin. It should be against the law when you have a certain amount of name real estate in Hollywood.
All right, so you leave the station, and you're going down the front. What's the first act of the haunted hayride? What's the first thing that you see as you leave chain link fence?
What happened with the handicap situation?
They just had to take the next cart, and I'm sure they were tended to very sensitively. And I'm sure if you go to their blog, you'll find that they love Halloween now.
So it's Griffith Park. It's by the zoo and the golf course there. It's nighttime, and you leave.
Just give me a moment.
You're now
that poor little handicap. He called her he referred to a human being. I think what he meant to say is a little handicap situation. If he had just said situation, I would chuckle, but then because of his concern about it and stuff, it would be like, oh, that's colloquial and we are too PC. Like he's expressing a need. We have a little handicap situation. That could be something a hero says. But he left the word out. So as I say, he reduced someone's humanity. Who is that? If you know I had to be talked into going there that night, Jesus Christ! What about me in a wheelchair? I'd never go. So that means somebody fucking cajoled that person. They were like, please, Handicap Harmon, please. You're such a curmudgeon. You're such a loner. It's unhealthy. Please come out just once. I swear to God. I promise. You're gonna have a good time.
Now somebody.
We got a little handicap here. I want to kill myself. And depending on my situation, I may not be able to. I'm going to put it into my book. I'm going to write it with my foot, and I'm going to fucking die a spiritual death. And I'm going to be hanging out as a flesh husk haunting you. That's going to, like, you think these ghosts scare me? You people are the monsters. Because you think I'm a ghost. So you get on the thing, and then there comes this point, and this is on me. This is my fault. The rest of the evening is my fault, because then they go. I'm so nervous now. I'm like, I don't have to. They keep saying that I'm not close enough to people. I feel like they're right. If somebody tells me that I'm doing something wrong, I'm going to first assume they're right. And then so I'm like, oh, so close to people. And then they're like, now sit. And it was like, everyone was like, thump into this like land of lakes, like fucking lotus position. And I was like, I gotta play this smart because I'm 42. And I kind of like, I tried, I overthought it. And I was like, well, I'm certainly not gonna, but then again, what if my foot, and then I said, well, sometimes on the couch I put, after a long day, but then my shoes would be off normally. And I was like, well, I'll be asked but if I have to move. And I just ended up in a fucking weird, like breakdancing pose. And everyone kept asking me, are you okay? For real, every time I moved a muscle, one of three, women my age, it wasn't like a high school experience. It was like women my age, they, out of courtesy and respect for my humanity, they would feel spasms happening and would look over at me and go like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." And I was like, because the hay was slippery, and I'm like, I just try to. But one of the rules is you can't get up. If you get up, you will be ejected from the ride.
You know what you should have said? You should have said at some point, you should have raised your hand and said, excuse me, I have a little handicap situation going on.
I am a little handicapped. Yes. And I would like to be ejected from the ride for the duration necessary to properly fold my legs underneath
now,
me.
Can you not sit cross-legged, or you just panicked?
I don't know.
Try it right now. Try to sit cross-legged.
This is TV dynamite.
Out of curiosity, I'm asking, do you know whether or not you can sit cross-legged?
All right, and then promise me we'll bring Andy up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just stop. I mean, it's Jeff's fault Andy hasn't been brought up.
Okay, here we go.
Our next guest has performed at clubs and colleges all around the world. He's a Harmontown favorite. He's a Dan Harmon favorite. He's a
Jeff Davis favorite.
It's not a competition.
No. But I spell my favorite with the O-U-R.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's bring him out. Andy Kindler's here.
What an entrance.
I think they prefer it if you're there.
All right.
Grab that, sorry.
I'm a Jeff Davis aficionado. I came up with that back there. All right. I'm always thinking.
What I like, because Andy, when I think of you, Andy, I think of a showman.
Yes.
You entered from the back of the room, left, stage left, then re-entered stage left.
P.T. Junum.
That's a P.T. Barnum reference if you're Jewish.
Oh, great. I am a showman. I put on a show. That's what I do.
I do good. Because I'm out. I'm tapped. I fucking did you see me? That was my Citizen Kane.
No, you were on fire.
Well, yeah.
This was what I consider fire. You were boom into. First of all, you went on the hayride. Most people would not do that for an anecdote.
Now I know that. If you had told me that, if you had been at the dinner that I was at with Tino, if you had just popped out from the kitchen and said, most people don't do what you're about to do.
Yeah.
I would have said, Dino, because he's going on it twice.
It sounds like a hee-haw convention. I don't know. Hee-haw sounded good. Convention was wrong. But
Andy,
do they
Andy, you've not done it, correct?
Oh, have I done it? I grew up on a farm with hay. No, I didn't. I've never been. How did they start with the hay rides? Why are they riding hay around? Keep the hay by the barn. It's kind of like Seinfeld.
Every time you put it in a cart, you're gonna get haunted.
Right.
Where are you taking it? Is there another farm? Let them grow their own hay.
The word haunted is in your ride. Who wants to go on a haunted ride?
I don't know what a barn's capable of, but I know it has its own hay. Now who am I? I turned into yogurt from Spaceballs.
From Spaceballs?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
I've never. I saw that movie coming. I was like, no way I'm going to go there.
I didn't. I begged all of my friends to go see it. I was at Prime.
You were the Dino to that haunted hayride.
Yeah. So the weirdest thing about the haunted hayride. Stop me if you want to talk about anything else. But here was the weirdest thing. Like I had so many questions. Because they never. There's no. I mean, and I'm not being a snob because they would just take you through scary stuff. It was just sort of like sometimes you'd stop and there'd be like they'd put on a little show. I was like, well, who's going to complain about this? This is not a problem. But then it's like for the most part, it's just people wandering up and they just keep and you just keep remembering they're not allowed to touch you. You should not touch them. So it's sort of like it really like takes the fear out of like the 90th guy coming up and just putting his head next to yours and going ah, and I'm like, but now my anxiety. I'm like ah. But it's fake. I'm faking it. I'm going like, because it's like when you tip at a strip bar. You know, I'm like, I don't know. The last one was a redhead, but that's on me. Like, I don't know. I don't want to take it out on you. Like, I don't know what my job is anymore. What is currency?
A strip bar hayride. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
So it's all magical. Like there were goblins and there were people, but the lighting was bad, but in the wrong ways. So like,
what was that word?
It was just well, it was like they weren't lit, so I couldn't like see their faces, but everything was lit for everyone's safety. Like everything was lit so that the driver could see the road and so that no one could sue them for ever not seeing something. But it wasn't lit. There were no key lights,
right.
And there was no blocking. So all you were ever seeing was just like shiny mess.
Like when you took the old Universal Studios tour ride, you would go into a thing and they would stop and it would stop you in front of a place. And they would tell you about the history of the thing, and then the flood would happen. Like, you remember that?
That is the worst. That is the worst tour, and I've been on it 4 times. Yeah. And the last time I went on it, it was I was doing a gig up at a private party, and the only way to get to it was I had to go through the tour for the 4th time. And it's horrible. The tour is horrible.
You have to
the Jaws shark.
The fire marshal allows that there's only one point of.
No, they.
That was your way to get into the party.
Right. If you have to leave, everyone gets to just go around the ride.
Yeah.
But.
I don't know. I didn't realize you can. I felt. I didn't see any way around it.
The worst part.
It's such a
this guy loves Jaws.
Terrible tour.
The worst part is the Moses part where they part the sea, but they don't part the sea. The sea just sinks into a thing. And it's
I don't even want to get. I don't even want to get into how it ruins the illusion of all these movies. Now I know there wasn't a real shark.
I was a kid when they implemented the King Kong attraction at the Universal Studios tour ride.
Jeff is 720 years old.
Implemented. I like implemented. Have you implemented the new ride yet?
Also, he's a conehead. He eats toilet paper.
We would like to be implemented into the new ride. We are from France.
You're going to get your balls busted tonight.
Oh, you're going down, baby. You're going to get Kindlered. 2015. Hashtag patent pending.
But when the King Kong ride came out, they boasted, and it was true, when you went in and King Kong is shaking the cables of the Brooklyn Bridge that you are ostensibly on.
As advertised.
And your car is going like, your tram is
world's clunkiest but most accurate slogan for a ride ever.
But when King Kong was right close to you and you got right up in front of it, Banana scented breath.
Oh, no, you, Dan.
Oh my God! No detail was left unruined.
It's like they thought of nothing.
But I bet they had to point it out, right? There was probably a sign that said,
the cool part, Andy, and you
tell your friends it was
Andy,
banana
you can back me up on
I
this.
will back you up on it.
If you are old school enough, and I know that you are, because you have OG written all across your
I have OCD.
you have OCD. You're OCG.
OCG. Come on, initial humor's easy. Someone come up with something. Old.
You're a obsessive compulsive gangster. So,
I've shot so many motherfuckers. 73 to be exact, unless you count Stacy, because he was already dying when my friend shot him. But I go by actual time of death. Motherfucker.
I was supposed to make sure he was dead. Now I'm concerned he was not really dead.
You don't own me, motherfucker. You're not a box of matchsticks spilled out onto an open white shag carpet.
Now I keep checking for my keys.
Yo.
Come on.
Yo.
A comedy staple, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo.
White people rapping.
Yeah.
Yo. OCGs.
Yo.
OCGs.
Yo. I can't. Yo, I put my bullets in the clip. I put the left one first as I'm facing it. I got my bullets arranged from left to right because I'm going to shoot you with the sharpest bullet tonight. But I got to make sure that the sharpest ones, I touch it 3 times. Otherwise, my mother might die.
I'm getting a pain in my heart. Is it a panic attack or have I been shot? I can't be sure. Did I leave the pilot light at home? On.
Yo, man, I'm so fucking angry right now at the world, but my therapist tells me to start trying to stop worrying about it. You try stopping worrying about something.
Yeah.
What do you think happens, motherfucker? You worry more.
I forgot to put the cap back on the bottle.
I forgot to. I popped a
cap on the
I
bottle.
put a cap in your ass.
On the bottle.
I bust the cap back onto the bottle.
God damn it!
It doesn't go flats afterwards. Yeah.
See what I ruined? If I had fucking loosened my goddamn grip on my show.
This is all I think rap is somehow.
Andy, you're halfway home if you do that. Now, the rest is just writing and genius.
That's right. The rest is just talent.
It seems to help to grow up as part of a disenfranchised population, but people are speculating that that's a total coincidence.
I was a Reformed Jew around a lot of conservative Jews. You think that was easy?
No.
Think I didn't suffer in Queens? I wanted to be upper middle class, but I was just regular middle class. Why can't we have a better car, Daddy?
Yo, yeah, I had a support system, but at what price? Price. So one atonal thing about the haunted hayride was after a whole unexplained and it wasn't necessary to explain any of this. I required nothing. You guys think, oh, Dan, humble brag, like, or whatever. You're like, oh, you went on a haunted hayride and it had third act problems. You're trying to flaunt, like,
Yeah.
You're a craftsman. You're trying to brand yourself, like, well, when I see a dog shit on a carpet, I just see poop on a carpet. But you see, Network by Patty Chayefsky because you're so interesting. That's not what I'm trying to create. I'm saying
That's exactly what they were thinking. How did you know that?
I only wanted to just, as one of you, just wanted to be in a hay cart and be haunted. That's all. That was all I was looking for. I had no other requirements. However, the way they haunted me for as long as they did,
and continues to haunt you.
Well, the thing that continues to haunt me was the total disruption in tonality. That was like, because right in the middle of the whole thing, so the whole thing is just like bat people, goblin people, bucket people, tree people, chain people, Viking people. It's just random. It's just like, I think what they must do is they like must sublet each 10 feet of the park to like some bad improv troupe. Or just like a committee. They just go like, okay, Gary and his guys, they said they'd come back, but they really want to do the Vikings again. Oh, how many times do I have to tell them Vikings haven't been scary since 1203?
Even the Minnesota Vikings, am I right? NFC fans, go Packers!
Deflategate! Right?
Who's that?
Deflategate.
No.
Yeah.
Not soon or late enough.
So in the middle of it, after all anyone's done is gone, ha, ha, ha. That's all anyone keeps doing is going, ha, ha. So then you pull, and all of a sudden you start hearing like 60s Motown music. And you're like, where's this going? How racist is this going to get? Because I just went through the witch doctor segment, by the way.
Right.
And I'm a white liberal, and I won't write a letter, but I'm holding on to it. But they seemed fine with it, and by they, you know who I mean.
The goblins.
And I subscribe to the social philosophy that if it's fine with them, it is fine with me. But believe me, it's still down there. I'm thinking about it.
What was the Motown song?
I don't remember. It was like
Don't mess with
I don't know. It was like, I want to kiss your lips because my sugar baby loves to kiss your lips.
I don't think either one of those is Motown. Who's with me on this? The Archies is not Motown. That's all I'm telling you.
and then what comes into view is like a cross section of cornfield, and then like this vintage 60s car. I'm like, okay, I guess this is here. It doesn't fit with anything. And then like two kids came out dressed in like Back to the Future 2, like kind of like 50s attire, like sweaters and like ponytails, and I didn't get turned on, but it was like. I didn't say that I didn't because I did. I like why? Who reacts to getting turned on that way? It's not part of the story.
That movie made me so horny. Am I right? Back to the Future.
Oh my God.
So the two kids, and then they go, and then they're like performing. But by the way, everyone that's performing, like half of the audience is going like this. And every time I do that, my neck is behind my leg, and people are going, "Are you okay?" So I'm trying to strain. So it's two actors that go. These are the first people that have spoken any language except for like rattling cans and going and shooting chains into nothing for the whole time. So now all of a sudden it's halfway through the thing, and there's just like two actors come out and they go like, stop it! Yo, what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? Hey, whoa, it's my heart, baby. It's like, come on, hey, whoa, what's that? And they look, and so we all look, and there's like some like kind of awkwardly lit thing that like I kept going like, well, if that's going to be a guy that kills you, I want to watch that because that's not going to move, is it? It's going to stay there. So like that's going to be interesting. So I was looking at that, but then what happened is they got into the car because they were scared of that, which turns out there was gunshots from the car. So this is like not that kind of like show so far. It was like I think this was just the most expensive thing, so they had to keep it, even though there's been so much. Because I talked to other people, and they're like, that ride's so scary. It's like it had this whole theme of serial killers last time, because this was clearly just a fucking just cold-blooded recreation of the fucking Zodiac killings. Like it was just they got into the car and then there was like strobe lights and gunshots from inside the car. So we've been like being like delightfully harangued by goblins that cannot touch you. And then there's this play and it culminates in just like bang, 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 bang. And then the weirder part is how dumb it is, because a guy gets out in a ski mask holding an axe, even though he's. I guess he's not confident in his marksmanship, or he's like, or he just ran out of bullets. But like he's like now holding an axe, so he climbs out and he goes.
Maybe he killed a gun with his axe. Crank, crank.
Well, then the other actors should come out and go, we're fine. There was an axe in the back seat. This gentleman was skiing.
He hates the Second Amendment.
But he comes out and he walks along the hay cart. But the weird thing is, everyone else has been a goblin, a troll.
You can't take your director's hat off. That's the problem.
I'm a writer.
You're like, the lighting is wrong.
It's just
Nosferatu.
It's just structural. It's just structural. Because he goes like, oh, hey. Like, it's supposed to be funny and bone-chilling. Now, this was Thursday night. All of these people are phoning it in. But he was like, nobody's bones were close to chilled. Like they were, everyone's bones were room temperature.
How many spines were tingled?
No, none. There was no tingling. Like there was a couple aches and bakes. Ooh, you'll have aches and bakes.
Aches and bakes.
You have to come baked.
You can save a lot of money just staying home and watching like a Jonestown documentary, something like that.
So then he just keeps going, and I swear to God, I'm done talking about the fucking hayride. But he goes like, he follows the hayride for a while, and I cannot stress to you enough, no one has spoken to us the entire time, and it's not the end, and it's not the beginning. This is just the middle, and it will never be addressed again structurally. It's just this fucking insane temporal shift where like we were at a witch's house, we were in Gumdrop Land, we were in fucking Pink Floyd's The Wall. Now we're just in the fucking 60s and an actual historical murder. Some people could possibly be relatives of some victims. That's not my point. I'm just saying it's totally different. It's tonally different. If the whole hayride was like, oh, I know that house. That's John Wayne Gacy's house. Look in the crawl space. There's a strobe light. A kid's trying to get out. Whoa, that's fucked up. That really happened, yo. Let's go eat pizza. But it was nothing like that. It was like paper mache lollipop people going like, habba-dabba-dabba-da, habba-dabba-da. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Dwayne, I don't know if we should be out. When should we tell my parents I'm pregnant? Hey, don't worry about your baby. I'll take great care of it. We'll love it forever. Oh, my God, he's got a gun. Please don't. I want to die. I want to fucking die. Oh, my God, this happened 45 times this year. And the guy comes out and does this, like, bad fucking improv performance with a ski mask and a hatchet going like, oh, hey. Hey, you guys. And he's decided all serial killers are from New Jersey. Like, oh, hey, you didn't happen to see anything back there, did you? And everyone, no one says anything because you can't.
That's called social engineering, Dan.
Oh, you didn't happen to see anything, did you? And I think because it says it in his script, like even though everyone's just going like this, he keeps like singling out people, going, "What about you, ma'am? You look like you saw something?" And she's like, "No, I didn't." Like she's.
Wait, what do you think happens when someone goes, I saw it was fucking you. Put the axe down.
I mean, obviously that character knew we saw something. He just shot two people and he was speaking very rhetorically.
Honestly, what do you think happens if you say, you did it, we just watched you do it?
Well, here's some things on the list of that won't happen, because that's easier. He won't touch you. And you won't stand up. You won't touch the wire above your head. The tractor will keep going. And, I mean, what do you think? That's so confusing. It was like, why did they personalize it for that one moment? Because I was like, listen, as unattractive as this idea is, like, the truth is, if we were truly in a realm where we've seen all the shit that we've seen tonight, this guy is the closest ally we have. He has a gun. Like, we're obviously traveling through dimensions. We don't know his story.
That's true.
Maybe we judge him and we find out, oh, those two people killed his parents or something in the 60s. Like, we don't know. Maybe he was framed. The whole thing happened in the dark with strobe light. I was just like, it wasn't scary is my point.
Right.
It wasn't scary. Well, I'm 42. I want to go on a children's ride and be scared. Me more. I also have complaints about Spider-Man 9. I'm 49 years old. I deserve better in my Spider-Man movie. All right, I just heard myself. It took me 50 minutes, but I'm ready to grow up.
I think a valuable lesson.
Don't applaud me saying I'm
A good hayride.
And that's
has
one to grow on.
A beginning, a middle, and an end. That's the problem with that. It was all over the map.
No, I went to not Scary Farm, which we talked about.
Don't bring it up.
I grew up in Southern California. There's Knott's Berry Farm, and Halloween there was Knott's Scary Farm.
I love puns in any format.
But
Even when they completely undercut the desired messaging.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Not Scary Farm. But actually, that's I actually only when Dino and Dan pointed it out, I never thought of it being not Scary Farm. I never thought of that.
That's literally what it's like phonetically. That's
Because
what it is.
I grew up at Knott's Berry Farm. They added the word scary. I didn't.
And you just
Well,
thought,
They had the word scary for Halloween, right?
Yes,
So
correct.
it's not all
but they
year,
put
all
not
year
in front
round.
of it.
But if we can get
Wait, I stepped on you.
Kids love Not Scary Farm in June. I don't know what I said. I retract that. last.
What if they found that out there? Like, gentlemen, the Not Scary brand is actually catching like wildfire in a way that Knott's Berries never did. People like not scary things.
Right. They don't like.
They hate
They
being
don't
scared.
like jelly. We found out.
My pitch was that they should call it for Halloween not N-O-T, not Scary Farm, comma Knots, but spelled K-N-O-T-T apostrophe S.
There's layers there that you guys will have to Google. There's a movie
Not
called Wayne's
scary,
World.
Knots. Not scary, Knots.
Knots.
So when I went to Not Scary Farm, there would be fist fights all the time because they were absolutely allowed to touch you. The people that played the ghouls and the boogans there, they would just jump out of a. They would just.
Who were they?
There was boogans and googas.
Oh, they were really. It was authentic then.
He's just getting shit from me.
Spencer Boogans is a real mythical
It is.
character, correct?
I think people say boogans.
Boogans?
Yeah.
I call them the boogans.
All right.
Look, boogans, it's like Dan with Bagel. He only read it. So when we went there, they would jump out and grab you from behind and scare the ever-loving shit out of you, which isn't really being, like, scared. It's just being startled and being
Exactly,
alarmed.
millennials.
So I was going through a haunted house with Diana Matawosian. I think we're sophomores in high school, at Lacerna High School. We go to Not Scary Farm. And we're going through, and I had a big crush on Diana Matawosian, who's still.
Oh.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah.
And I was.
She knows what she's doing.
I was a late bloomer. Like I was so afraid of girls. I was so afraid. So I had her by the hand. And we're going through like one of those little tunnel-driven haunted houses things where people just jump out at you and stuff. And so I'm going to walk through that little corridor there, and there's going to be a bunch of boogans jumping out at me. So I have her by the hand, and I'm leading her down the hallway. And like I'm pulling her, and she's too afraid because there's boogans jumping out at her. And I'm like, Diana, come on, just run, just come, like we'll just go past this thing. And the hand goes slack, and I look and I go, hey, and I say hey, and she headbutts me. See, that tooth, if you get a close up, that tooth right there sticks out.
Oh,
it's got a little piece of hair and tissue on it.
and that's why you say boogans. That's why you say that,
no,
right?
Matawosian. This isn't. I'm haunted by the ghost of an Armenian head.
I would like to
She wasn't hurt at all, by the way. She moved my tooth up into my brain.
Well, hey,
stays
that's
there.
a racist stereotype.
She was.
Our Armenian skulls are just as soft as anyone else.
Not in my experience, Dan. Not in my experience.
Well, you met a weird woman, not an Armenian spokesmodel. My apologies to my friends Rick Tusunian.
Rick Tusunian. Hey, that's the first time you came up with an actually good name. Rick Tusunian.
All right, well, Andy, what were you going to say? Come on.
no, I was going to say if we did like a survey, I would say that very few Jews would go to these haunted house things.
God, I wish
Life is already. If I wanted. I just would take mushrooms on Halloween or something if I want to have a terrible experience.
What would it be like if
terrible, horrible,
Andy,
frightening.
say a couple Jews went to Not Scary Farm. How would that go?
Well, they would be like, do you think this is good for our eyes? Or that's. I gave my mother one of those 3D books, and like she looked at it like, "You think this is good for your eyes?"
Yeah, Mom. That's why everyone's required to have one at birth by the American Medical Association. It's good for your eyes.
Good for your... No, we would never. There's no chance that Jews would go.
Is anybody else's spine tingling? My spine's been tingling.
I remember going through a haunted house with my brother, my older brother, who
Bones. Name of Bones.
I went through a haunted house with him, and then there was I was scared, and there was I remember this chain link area, or what? It's not chain link, but it was kind of like mall, at the mall where they lower the things. There was room to reach through. And that was their whole point, was that there was a whole chamber of zombies, strobe lit, and they were reaching through the thing and they were grabbing you. This was the 80s. This was the 80s. If you weren't getting grabbed,
you weren't having
and you weren't grabbing back, then David Hasselhoff wasn't there. So I got scared. I was like a 10-year-old kid. I feel like all my memories are from 10, but I was like, I got up scared. But it was scared, I don't know, they're grabbing me and it was scary. And then I just remember running away down this hall with all these hands reaching through and this strobe light. And then looking back because I forgot my brother, my big brother is 5 years older than me, and I look back and just see this strobe lit image of my big brother going, "Motherfucker, don't you fucking touch my little brother!" and he's kicking the fucking and all the zombies are now strobe lit, but totally fucking.
They're all
just uncomfortable, Albert Brooks characters, just going okay, this happens 3 times a week. We got another one, and he's just "Motherfucker, don't fuck. And I was the fucking swirl of emotions I had because he was oh, that's nice. He's not beating me up. He's he wants to beat other people. Beating up is just his way of saying things.
Right.
When he's beating me up, he's saying you. Yes. Now he's noticing them.
It's all perspective.
And it's for me.
Yeah. I think that every time he's fighting somebody, he's fighting the boogans within himself.
I want to tell, not because I owe it to my brother, because he won't talk to me anymore, because I talked about him on the podcast, but in the interest of karma, I do want to tell just the other version of that story, which is that it never happened. I was a drug dealer, and I don't have a brother. No, I was at a movie theater. I think we were going to see. I don't know what movie we were going to see, but it was me, my brother, and a mutual friend of ours, and I was I just I'll probably blow your mind, but when I was 14, I was I had trouble watching my mouth and not getting into a bunch of fucking trouble socially. I know I don't want you guys to unfollow me now that you know that about me. But I had no fucking filter, and I was just I don't know, especially when I'm on a high, I was just like fraternity, and I started. We were in a nearly empty theater, and then I was just talking really loud to my 2 friends, one of whom was my brother, going man, did you guys ever go to a theater and just somebody sitting there alone? Who does that? I could never see myself doing that. I don't know what to that's what's crazy. I was really just expressing. It was just sort of I would have talked about anything. I was just feeling camaraderie, and I was just isn't that weird? Everything's weird when you're 14. I'm there's something I noticed. Oh, I'm an expert at going to movies. Well, what's that with that guy who always goes there alone? You see a guy alone? Who does that? Who does that? I'm just fucking. And then my brother's friend goes and I go, and there's the only other guy in the well, it's half a dozen people. One guy is alone. He's a Milwaukee archetype. He's got a mullet, and he looks like he's been lifting weights to compensate for a lot of shit that he's he's looks scary. And I, because when I turn and look at him, he's staring at me, and I go,
not you.
Sorry, yeah, not you. Sorry, that's exactly what I do. And only then at that point does the guy go, "What'd you say, motherfucker? Oh, the fuck did you say to me?" And he gets up. This is every human being's worst nightmare in a movie theater, and it's happening to me. It's one of my first movie theater experiences, which is why I will not save your seat. Let's just go to a different movie. Or watch it without popcorn. It's making me very nervous. Or go to that place in Pasadena where you buy the seat.
You reserve them.
But he goes like, "What'd you say, motherfucker? Oh, fuck it!" And he starts walking down the aisle, and he's coming to me. And my brother, my crazy, self-destructive, source of a million woes brother,
Not listening any longer to the podcast.
No, he's not. No, not tuned into my life. I have a niece who is, I think, the first chair violinist in the LA Philharmonic. I have no idea. She's 38, and I have never met her.
You don't like classical music that much?
Yeah. I aged a woman. I've been doing this podcast for. Anyways, so as he gets done, I'm like, well, I guess this is just one of those scenes you see, like where you see a guy go, I don't know what to do, and my brother just goes, sit the fuck down.
Whoa!
And the guy's like, what? And the brother is like, you heard me, you fucking fake ass muscle man. Take your fake ass back to the seat and sit it down and watch the fucking movie or get the fuck out of here before I crush you.
Whoa!
That's my hero. That's what I always think of.
And
saying.
the fucking guy just went yeah, we'll see, and walked back and sat down and watched the movie. And I have no idea what the movie was or what it was about. It could have been Dead Poets Society.
Billy Jack.
Know.
It was Billy Jack.
I was like, holy shit.
If it was Billy Jack, that would be great.
Wouldn't it be great?
What was the film, Dan? Any idea?
No idea, because all the film was my brother stuck up for me and saved my life, and for once I was like the bad guy and the idiot, and he was the genius. He was the fucking he knew all the moves and protected me and did everything right, and no blood was shed, because he knew what to do. And didn't even give it a second thought.
For all of your brother's misdeeds, that one story is enough to secure his legacy in your heart, right? That's a good moment.
You're prodding me to tell you 9 funny my brother stories.
No. I'm not. I've heard all your
I'd like to
funny
hear
stories.
No, my brother was never. Yeah.
Andy, do you have siblings, brothers, sisters?
I have my brother is I'm the youngest and I'm adorable, and I have an older sister and an older brother, and my brother was too big to hurt me, and he could beat me up, so he never did.
How many years is that?
2 years, but I was very tiny, very tiny man. Until
that lands as a joke that nobody laughed at, and it's true.
What's that?
And you're because you're like, oh, my big brother he was just so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
That he didn't hurt me because it would have been how many years between? 2 years.
Yeah,
that's funny to me because my brother was 5 years older than me, and it was that is the recipe.
Yeah, even if he was a month older than me, it would have been trouble.
Was your brother a big hulking figure? Or?
No, but at the time, I was 4'11" until high school, and then I. It's not that much of a tragedy. Oh, my God, how does he even live? What would
Did
he have
someone
done
marry him?
If he remained that tiny, what would he have done? He would have maybe he would have got a job as a platform that people could walk over or something. Thank God I sprung up to 5'5.5". Thank God. Thank God.
What were the growing pains like for that? Was it rough?
Well, it was a lot of hormones, and I was always. I don't know. They had size places when I was a kid. There was some kind of a prank show.
Size places?
Yeah, you had to line up in size places.
What does that mean?
From shortest to tallest.
For what? The bathroom?
For some kind of military-like maneuver.
For what?
Well,
who were we at war with?
We ducked and I'm old, so we ducked and covered. We would go out into the hallway.
So this is Cold War stuff going on here?
That's right. You don't remember? You don't know about trouble. We had the goddamn Ruskies. I'm still blacklisted. I can't get movie roles because I'm blacklisted. That's why you don't see me in movies. Because of my communist affiliation.
Because I tell my mother.
Oh, you got my goddamn... He knew it was a tweet.
I read all your tweets.
Son of a bitch.
But did you guys? We did tornado drills.
But they would organize you in rank of height, size.
Not rank. We weren't ranked. I didn't have to go through a training. What are you ranked? I'm at 4'11". No. Anybody has never been arranged in a public school in size places before?
Yeah,
I see
some
some
photos.
Maybe for a photo, yeah.
You're saying size places like
It's better than by race, I guess. Let's line up by race.
Unless doing so is a gateway to finally proving race is an artificial construct.
That's true.
Like if there's some major event and they're like the
we can't-
Olympics. Remember when Hitler lost the Olympics?
Jesse Owens?
Yeah, he's like, time
he
to
didn't
prove
lose the Olympics. Germany.
time to prove racism at the Olympics, and we're like,
He didn't lose. Are you going to tell me something very Nazi-like?
Germany won all the gold medals in that one. They cleaned house.
wet.
Jesse
Blanket
Owens won
Davis.
some gold medals.
Oh, track and field. Jesse Owens cleaned up.
You're too happy about how well Germany did.
I'm just saying.
The 36 Olympics.
Hitler didn't lose the Olympics.
Yes.
Jesse Owens won a couple of meets.
Well, Netanyahu, who's the world.
Oh, here we go.
Evil.
Here we go.
Your friend Bibi. He's trying to say that Hitler didn't even want to slaughter the Jews. It was Muslims who convinced
It was his
them.
friends put him up to it.
Isn't that what he said? It was what?
It was his friends.
Yeah,
Hitler
you're
was
too
always
scared.
smoking. I said, stop smoking at the pool hall. You're gonna exterminate 6 million people. You keep doing that. Those guys are no good, Nicks.
Well, yes, the Muslims did too, and so did half of Europe wanted to kill the Jews.
He hates the Muslims, Bibi. Don't get me started on religion, folks.
Well, we do want you started. But
Well, we've already covered it. I'm right, and everybody. No, love everybody, But Netanyahu, he's such an evil man that he wants to change the history. He wants Hitler to look good. That's his plan now.
Yeah.
Hitler wasn't as bad as what we've been making him out to be. He didn't want to. He just wanted to give the Jews a talking to.
I love the fact that for real, a real thing on the table was relocate all the Jews to Madagascar.
I thought you were going to say
Is that a
Madison.
Disney movie, or did that really?
Wait, when was that on the table?
That was the original pitch.
Oh, okay.
I never heard this.
No, for real. They wanted to. There's an island off the eastern coast of Africa. We'll just send everybody there. And they go, yeah, that's kind of untenable. That's going to be pretty complicated.
Can I do the Jewish reaction to that? Madagascar. Not bad. Not so
tropical.
bad. Could be worse.
It's tropical. It could be worse.
Have you been to
my God.
Poland? Not so good.
You're right. You're right across the coast from Libertatia. It's great.
Yeah. I'm not going into the area only because I'm so ignorant of it. I'll end up like running roughshod with my dumb jokes.
Oh, I know the world. I know World War II. That's one time period.
Boy. You know what I find?
If you could cast yourself as any character, Andy, in World War II,
Right.
Allies, Axis, it could be a Russian peasant, it could be an Axis officer, you could be anybody going back in history. Portray yourself. Who would you like to portray back in time?
Well, first I can say that I used to have a joke where I said that my career is going so poorly. You know, my career is going so badly. I would have played the Jew in Nazi propaganda films. You know, it's like someone has to do it. Someone's going to do it. They're going to cast somebody.
Someone else is going to.
There are no small roles, Andy. There are no small roles.
And then the other thing I had a joke, I was like, no small role. The other thing I had, I look scared already. There was that movie Downfall, which is a great movie. Downfall is one of the best of all time. It's Hitler in the bunker, based on his secretary.
Oh, is that the one that the clips from that everyone uses as the meme?
Yes. And it's based on the documentary with his secretary. Yes, Hitler had a secretary.
Yeah, I just rewatched All Worlds at War. She's awesome, the secretary.
The secretary.
Yeah.
So my thing was that I would have liked to have punched up that script,
Okay.
Downfall, because I would have had one scene where I walk in, I go, I just got back from Hitler's bunker. Has he been acting strange? Does he seem angry to you? But I probably would have played. Who would I have played? Maybe Mussolini.
That would be amazing.
short.
That would be the best B story to a World War II movie ever. That's like stars Hitler or like it stars Patton or something, but it's like they cut to Hitler and he's like, "Oh, I'm so mad," but then it's like, "What's Mussolini doing?" And it's you.
Il Duce. Why do they call me Il Duce? I don't like it. Yeah. You know what? Why don't you just hang me in the public square?
Because
Cut
it
to.
does feel from my memory of high school World War II history, it's like sort of like Italy was sort of
Italy ended up
put
on
their
the
hat in a ring.
They ended up on the Allies side towards the end of the war.
Well, because
I found out.
He was a windsock. He went whichever way
It was just sort of like, and you see the footage of him. Not that Hitler looks any less ridiculous, but like the guy looks like there's always that footage where he talks like this.
Fidel.
It's like that. It's like the Iron Sheik looked more natural. Like it's so weird. Like because people were like they didn't have cameras on them ever, so they were like, yeah, I'm gonna do this because I saw a guy do this in a movie.
There's awesome footage when Mussolini bones out of Italy because he's just completely left surrenders, and he goes to Nazi Germany, and he gets off a plane, and Hitler sees Mussolini, who's lost so much weight because you think of him as this big, hale, robust, like Yul Brynner with a workout plan kind of thing, and Hitler sees him and is like. You can see like, wow, you don't look so good, Mussolini.
Yeah. And I'm Hitler.
Hitler's saying that to him.
Yeah, look at me,
Spencer.
I look like the Pringles.
Spencer, how would you
logo?
Spencer, you're a mythologist and a fantasy role player.
And a Holocaust denier. What is your
opinion about?
What's your take on the?
How would you cast yourself if you had to portray a role back in then, or if how do you see yourself?
Definitely just one of those SS guys. they just get the most. They get the most fun. They're not.
They really do.
They don't have their name in history, but they did all sorts of terrible, great things.
I didn't expect you to go that direction. I love
it. Was the question what kind of Nazi would you be?
No,
because if that is the case, then everything's fine.
He would have been.
I'd be a handsome blonde Nazi. That's what I would be. Devilish.
Oh, and the fun.
Get the Jews off my lawn.
Oh, and the fun.
That's fun.
Fun.
Just a guy who does, a man's man, kind of, right? Yeah. Not your father's SS.
Harmon, it's 1940.
Okay,
You are somewhere in continental Europe.
Continental.
You wake up. No, you could be.
What does that mean?
Huh?
Continental Europe.
Continental Europe?
Like Italy or something?
It means the continent. Like you're not like.
It means not Wales. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll go there if I need a Spice Girl.
Dan, you wake up.
And I'm one short.
You wake up. You're okay. I'm going to be Spencer about this. Let's hang on a second.
What?
All right, Dan.
Wait. Okay. Wait. What? Okay.
Dan Harmon.
Yes.
The year is 1940.
Shadowrun.
Oh no, Spencer, no.
Spencer, you do it.
No, he got panicked.
Spencer, create a situation where Dan wakes up and he has to find his character origin. World War II.
You wake up and you have to appoint your character origin. World War II.
What?
Come on, Spencer, set the scene. He's in a cave. He's in a dungeon. He's on
the Normandy.
Not really a history guy.
All right. Do it emotionally. Where is he emotionally? It's 1940.
You're hungry. Nope. Okay.
All right, Dan, I'll set it for you. Start from the beginning. Dan.
Remember when Jeff started improvising that thing and briefly made it your problem?
Yeah.
No.
And then you were just like, nope.
No.
And he's like, okay, bluff called.
No. he fucking jumped in. He started doing Shadowrun. I go, oh, let's
Well, no,
let's
but
do it.
he was doing.
I feel like I hit the criterion he laid out.
Wait, by the way,
I gave him a chance to do it. I thought he wanted to fucking get in
Spencer picks me up for work every day, and every time I open the car and get in, he goes, "What's up?" And I go like, and then we drive, and then there was that one day, remember, like we hit a pothole or something, or I like coughed, and I went, and you went, "What's up?" and we both were like, wait, why did that happen? And we realized that like it's like oh, it's like
I physically skipped.
It's like because the bump in the road made me make the sound I make when I'm getting into a car. So he went, "What's up?" And I was like, It was uplifting and downtrodden, which is all you can ask from God. All right, where were you?
Dan, you're a Jewish banker, 1940. Take it. Take it.
Oh, I love the money, but I hate it. I don't know what to do. No, what were you going to say?
I don't know. I was going to improvise.
Luftwaffe. You would be in the Luftwaffe.
I would?
Yes.
Well, no. I also, by the way, I said you could be Axis or Allies. You don't have to be German in this. You could be anybody you want.
I'd be Rommel. I would play Rommel.
You'd be Rommel.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be a great desert fox.
Oh, go down the desert further.
Andy,
Get away from the war. Go down to Cape Town. Have a fucking pina colada.
Andy, what do you think is the secret to tactical maneuvers with tanks?
Well, you have
I'm so glad you asked. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, was it you? Oh, yeah.
No, I was
You
laughing.
have to triangulate. I do a rear guard entry. That sounds bad. I don't know anything about. I'm going to admit right now that I can't even improv.
You'd be a good Rommel.
Oh yeah, just emotionally, that'd be good.
Yeah,
Fire up the tanks.
You know what you have? You have sang-froid.
Warm up the tank.
War up the tank.
Yeah.
You know what I think a good war strategy would be?
What?
But I can only test this by losing millions of lives.
Do you want the?
What?
Do you want the music for this or no?
No, there's no music necessary. Because I'm workshopping this. I mean, we don't go on until Tuesday. I'm just thinking like improvisation.
You're just spitballing now.
Just thinking like through all of the, like I'm thinking like so you put yourself in charge of everybody. Like you go like I'm in charge of all the armies.
Right.
Like in my
Armies.
country.
Yeah.
Like and then you go like I always know what I'm doing. And it's like, I'm doing. And then you secretly tell one guy, like right underneath you, go like, don't ever tell me anything. But just let me go. Let me do my thing. And then you just run the whole war.
So George W. Bush and Cheney.
Yeah, he won, right? He fucking like, yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
exploited, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just like if you were a strategist, what you would do is you would go like, oh, don't tell me anything, and then let me fucking like stand on balconies, and because if I slip up. It'll be the fucking greatest strategy since D-Day. Like it'll be like, because I'll just be like, blah blah blah. I know what I'm doing, and like, and then there's just a guy just running a war underneath you.
I don't know if that would work. It sounds like someone would see through it at some point. Why is there a guy underneath the podium?
He doesn't have to be. That's you're thinking of Police Academy. That's
okay. I mixed up.
And the answer is because they had to hide. Oh, Mahoney, was that you that sucked my dick? You guys have to watch Police Academy through this like post boat trip, post Caitlyn Jenner, post fucking like 2015 world. Like just watch a movie called Police Academy where it's just like one of the runners with the big like
he
like
hires
thing.
a prostitute to
It's
get
like
under the podium.
yeah, and it's just like the joke is that the head of all the police
The commandant
thinks that Steve Gutenberg filleted him.
Right.
And so he's just like, huh? Like he's just he's apparently not gay, but thinks Steve Gutenberg is. And it's not. The joke isn't that the commandant is like in the closet. The joke is that the commandant is like, ugh, I'm so straight that I don't want that blowjob to get to me, but it felt so good.
Right.
Like, it's just such a weird. Like, we were so in the closet back then that we were healthier a little bit in a lot of ways because we put people in the center square and we like celebrated like sexuality. You know, we celebrated gayness like in a way that we couldn't after we actually acknowledged that it was offensive to dehumanize people. Like, I think that goes with everything, really. It's like you're sort of like there's that day when you graduate to being taken seriously and everything stops being celebratory.
But you're right, though, in a way, because the fact that you can't really have someone like Paul Lynde as a character in a way
because you know he'd be stereotypical.
But the fact that we didn't know, like nobody knew what was going on back then, and
half the people I mean, I was one of them. Like the biggest bands were Queen and the Village People.
Right.
I don't care if you've ever heard of them. Listen to those names. Their gimmick was not to anyone in Wisconsin. It was not known that the gimmick had anything to do with any form of lifestyle.
No, just look at the firemen. Look at the cowboy.
Look at them. They wear different outfits, and they're singing about the YMCA. I don't know why. And then now it's the Navy they're following it with. I don't know. They're like any other group. They sing about weird things.
Those guys have a lot of energy.
And Queen, Freddie Mercury was like a fucking belting it out. It was like and America was like, yay, these people are great. Throughout history, I've never seen that documentary, The Celluloid Closet. Have you ever seen that? I'm interested to see that because I'm 30 years later. But like the idea that like obviously like there's a, not to be stereotypical, but there's a lot of talent like sequestered in the gay like.
You're like a prosecuting attorney who's about to pounce.
Now it's 2015.
Isn't it
so
true, Dan?
It's not progressive to say it anymore. Like 5 years ago, it was like, I love gay people. They're so talented. Now it's like, you weird homophobic weirdo.
Yeah.
They're not anything.
That was my closer. Was let's hear it for the gays.
But all of that mid '80s, late '80s, like this giant pool of talent, like so many of them died. And so like you didn't just lose artists and like singers and like visual artists, like you lost architects and great minds, writers, politicians, like a huge swath of an incredibly intelligent, hip happening section of our population gone. And I don't know that we totally recovered from that. Like I think that's a huge one of the reasons that we kind of went into a little bit of a cultural downslide.
You had the comedy boom of the late 80s. There was some quality left.
There were two great gigs back in the 80s. You could be a stand-up comic or a guy that made brick walls behind comics.
Oh, my God, the bricklaying boom.
Those were the days.
When are they going to...
A piece of that brick concession. Boy, oh boy.
Or if you sold nacho materials... Back then, you could make a lot of money. That's what the big.
If you sold was. Giant mallets,
yeah. I still call Gallagher in June and ask him what melons look good this summer. Should I go for the Crenshaw? Is that looking good?
Is he a good metric or a bad one? I mean, he's
using them just to smash.
Right. Yeah. So are those the ones that are good to eat? Because now I'm really mad at him.
There's no upside to what he's doing. He's ruining perfectly good fruit.
I thought that was food that someone was going to throw away.
Do you think he went down to the market?
And if you tell me next that his jokes could have fed people, I will lose my mind.
He used to spend 8 or 9 hours a day making sure that they were all rotten and not good to eat. I wish I hadn't said that too, as well. How can you follow this guy with all of our artistic people who are dead?
Okay, Andy.
What are you? What is this, tragedy club? All of a sudden? I mean, what are we?
It's 1985. You
Second
absolutely
Reagan turn.
have to. Your stand-up career will not survive. There's a guy with a hammer for a head that's like killing on Star Search. There's
Hammer for a head.
there's a lady that plays two violins, and she's funny too, but she plays two violins. So like what would your gimmick be? Gun to your head, like what if you was like eat what you kill?
I would go full stereotypical Jew.
That's not.
That's someone in that?
No, I'm
I thought we were role playing.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. He wasn't gonna say I get up and look at a stainless steel mirror and wonder what my when hover cars are gonna. Okay. It wasn't anything.
I got
like
one scene for Rommel. I figured out one scene for the Rommel movie. Me as Rommel.
All right.
What do you mean we're out of gas? It's called a tank.
Thanksgiving.
Andy Kindler is Rommel.
Rommel.
Great. Wait, hey, I admire you so much, but then part of me is like, what are you doing? You're thinking about that during the show.
Right. Yeah. What's the matter with me?
So it's so boring to you. You're just like a part of your brain is like, I got it. It's just in the background. You have that much processor.
He's like a squirrel. He can put nuts.
That's right. That's right.
Cheek. While he's doing.
I would like to think that the show was like fully engaging Andy Kindler's brain, but it's not possible.
I think he's like a spider. He has.
I'll embrace it. I won't take it personal.
No, I think I have a lot of problems, and I do have ADHD, that kind of a thing. No, I'm plugged in. Are you kidding me?
Do you want to go back to my dumb?
Yes.
You said I said what would your because it's kind of it's a joke.
Be?
It's a joke game, but I mean there might be an answer.
I would
right?
be
like, what would we do in that era?
Crazy. I would be the guy who I can't even think of a really hacky thing. What would be good for me? Song parodies.
Well, you did my favorite.
Well, no, but Andy, what I'm asking is like based on what
can we get a couple song parodies?
Based on what you're good at, like based on your actual like, oh shit, I want to survive, and I'm being told that in order to survive, I have to like stick out
right
amongst like this cavalcade of characters.
Wear loud suits.
Yeah,
you get. Okay, yeah. I mean, what would you?
Hey,
really...
folks, come on! What am I nuts? But what do I know? I bought this suit. I could be Reagan guy. Yeah.
I'd be Reagan guy?
Yeah. Hey, I'm not going to mention AIDS. Woo!
Remember what Kevin Meaney? Do you know Kevin Meaney?
I love Kevin Meaney.
He was so funny, and I'm not past tense. I mean, it's just like
he's still around.
Like he's still around and still funny, but like his gimmick was like he just like landed. It's so funny how people like you land on shit. Like Larry the Cable Guy is like his name,
not even from the South.
Yeah, named Dan Sanderson or whatever. There's YouTube videos of him doing jokes about Velcro, but and then like at one point in his stand-up act, there's like a guy that comes over with cable, and he does his impression of this idiot that's coming over with cable, right?
I like the way you make
and
it
then
sound.
everyone's like, oh, what an idiot that guy is. That's so funny. And then it's just like after time, the Velcro jokes go away, and it's like more and more, like it just grows outward.
Destiny.
But like Kevin Meaney's thing, Kevin Meaney's thing was that it's his mother talking to him.
Oh yeah,
what are you doing? That's not right.
Wear big pants,
what
people.
What are you doing? But it's like the joy of that.
Yeah,
like
that's
a
right.
Crazy person down there.
Like I'm not knocking it at all.
You're gonna knock your eye out with it. You probably already have your one-eye jokes. That was it. Go learn something about comedy, folks. Not everything is. There was life before Dane Cook. All right.
Gilbert Gottfried used to do a thing when I was like 15 years old. Humble brag. I was like watching like. And I remember watching a Gilbert Gottfried special, and I was like, "Oh, that's that guy that talks like this, and he's in the candy bar commercials." Like I think he was on SNL one year, and I don't know anything about him. And I watched his 45-minute set, and it was like, "Holy shit, this guy's a goddamn genius!" Because he would come out and he does the comedy, do the act, and it doesn't really matter the performance style, but I do it like this. and I do it like that. And then he would pause while
do
people
it
are
with a
laughing.
wiffle ball bat.
And then there would be a pause, and then he'd go, "No, why would you do something like that?" And later it would turn out, I didn't know, he was doing his impression, I think, of Seinfeld.
Yeah, he used to do
He was doing his like super ego.
His Seinfeld impression is
Seinfeld's
really
amazing.
funny.
Oh, it's perfect. But I didn't even know.
Why do they call it tea?
It was just funny that he was just doing like a dialogue. He was doing his act, and I do the joke, and I do the setup, and then the punchline. Pause. Now that's not something you want to do. Why do you have to screech at people?
Well, that sounds like Groucho a little bit.
Well, I'm not
I
doing.
like that
I'm not even
Groucho.
going to attempt like Gilbert Gottfried's Seinfeld impression.
Well, he had that one joke where he says, he goes, the Martian ship landed and the head Martian came up to me and he said, Ben Gazzara is a good actor. How come he can't get a series? Ben Gazzara was a good actor.
Cassavetes film.
Oh, these people don't know Ben Gazzara now.
No. All of a sudden
well,
you're going to be
fuck me.
25 and not know Ben Gazzara.
Yeah, great.
You know what?
Hey.
You deserve the earth to burn to a crisp underneath your feet.
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't know how to desalinate seawater. Here's a hint. You boil it. It's just too expensive. You're all going to die. It's a perfectly easy thing to do when there's 8 of you. You're all going to die.
You should have your own tableau.
Oh, there's no water. The planet's 80% water. There's more of it every day. It's too expensive to make it drinkable.
That's your hook. That would be your catchphrase. It's too expensive to make it drinkable.
It's too expensive to make it drinkable. If you put half the money you put into NASCAR...
If we don't get her done.
Yes, your water might be too expensive.
I made a joke today. I was a random joke. I don't know where I was in this area. I have no idea because I'm a hack and I'm old and whatever. But I was like, I don't know. I was thinking about Jeff Foxworthy and it was like,
who doesn't?
So I wrote a tweet and it just said like I'm probably going to butcher my own unfunny tweet, but it was just like the joke was just it was quote. Life isn't given to people, Amanda. Life is a test, and I'm giving it. Fox leaked dialogue from the trailer for Foxworthy by Aaron Sorkin, because he's famous for giving a redneck test. Okay, so
wait, not Aaron Sorkin isn't famous for
no, Jeff Foxworthy
He's
is.
the inventor of
so
walking and talking.
Foxworthy in all caps. So then I got so many tweets, and there was like one guy in particular that was like Foxworthy, is that about Jeff Foxworthy? Scratch that off my list. And I'm like, all right.
I want to meet that guy.
I know I'm 42, but I'm like what? What do you mean?
What did he mean?
And he's like, he kind of stoops a little bit, albeit respectfully, like because he's not being condescending, but he understands that I didn't get his joke, and he goes like, the premise of the joke is that I mistook the title for being about Jeff Foxworthy, and so I was no longer enthusiastic about seeing the movie. And so I said, oh, I get it now, but you're still going to go see the movie, right? And he goes, well, now that, yes, to further bury the shame of my bad attempt at humor, yes, I will go see it. And I said, well, hold on a second. If they make if there's a movie called Foxworthy, they're going to have to expect you to make the association with the guy that you thought of immediately. So it wasn't a lame joke in a world where that movie exists. And he's like, okay, yeah, you're right. I guess I just like the idea of seeing those rednecks walking out of the movie theater puzzled. and I said, yeah, dumbasses.
Yeah.
Talk about failing a test. Like the famous test that Jeff Foxworthy...
What's he doing? What happened to the test there at the end?
And
what's the famous test?
Andy,
I'm going to act like he's not here.
Dan's in a very weird place right now.
What's the...
But I'm trying. You guys don't. Okay, I'm the bad guy.
I don't think people would consider it a test.
You're saying you're a redneck when
Right.
Dan sees that as Jeff Foxworthy issuing a test on you.
All right, now hold on a second. All right.
If you can answer the following questions, you just might be a redneck.
That's exactly literally his bit. That's why his set wasn't called Polak jokes, or like he literally only just did that. Like
You might be a redneck if.
Yes, he instead of saying how can you tell when a redneck screws in a light bulb, he said you might be a redneck if. Boy, okay, all right, I'm the bad guy.
Well, you ruined the originality of his concept with that. Now I realize it seems like a familiar saw.
Well, also
that
there's some poor kid out there now who's looking for that movie, and he's going to eventually find out that I was.
Didn't you worry about him the rest of the day? That guy, like, what have I done, and did I hurt his feelings? Because that's what I do on Twitter.
No, because he was. Well, I know. No, I worry.
Someone went, no. I care nothing for people in the virtual environment.
I worry about I worry about me doing my job of like fitting in and making people happy.
Yeah, well, I think the amount of time I spend on Twitter is exactly right. I mean,
Dan, you came. We took different flights out of New York. I landed in Seattle, and I had a bunch of notifications saying like, "Make them stop." I'm like, "Make what stop?" I laid on my bed and was like, I was like, how do I scroll back to the origin story?
I had a Twitter meltdown.
Is this true?
Of course it's true.
Then
that's a word that has an empirical definition, isn't it? How could you ever argue with it? If someone says you're having a Twitter meltdown, how could they ever be wrong?
Meltdown.
It's called Meltdown.
Oh, yeah.
Brought to you by Twitter.
I'm always thinking.
Andy, by the time Dan finishes the story, I want 3 more Rommel jokes.
Okay.
Oh, God damn it. You're making fun of the fact that the show isn't enough for his brain.
No, that's not what he's doing.
Brain, I'm saying his brain is so commodious. Like
It can't be filled with my petty stories about defending my behavior.
You misread me. I have the same problem of everybody else in the world, which is like,
huge dick.
What's going on? How do I look? How do I look while this is happening?
Yeah.
Am I bombing? Am I not bombing? In general, every conversation, every minute, every meal. Did I bomb? Am I bombing? Am I going over well?
Right.
So that's what you're sensing with me.
Which is all I've ever said. No, I'm not. Wait, now I'm worried, and I'm doing the same thing because I'm worried. You think that I have any problem with
We're doing an uncomfortable improv now.
Yeah.
No. Let me say, before we go further, I was concerned.
That's the beautiful jellyfish, like crazy ballet that we do. If we could all just be honest about the fact that we all are constantly concerned, that as confident and wonderful as we think we all are, that there's a word for something that doesn't need any input at all or any perception of itself through other people's eyes, which is like a fucking rock or an air. Like, it's not worth living to be that. And it's like we're primates. We're constantly fucking just like hacking it up and like trying to make sure that we're driving okay, and it swirls the irony that we also know that people don't like people that aren't confident, people that are care too much what other people think, and all that stuff. But yeah, and we all do that, and it's just like
only if you're self-aware you do that,
right? If you're a fucking idiot, like 90% of the world, then I have to carry you, and then you go, "Where are my footprints?" And I'm like, "Motherfucker." It's my joke, the Foxworthy movie, not yours.
I'm the Jesus in that tweet.
Yes.
I like that.
It's the worst when you make a joke and then someone tries to tag your joke with your literal joke,
or that
as if they fucking came up with
that
it.
Happens
That's
a lot.
So
that does.
how can you think? Everyone, kill yourself.
Yeah.
Like to make up an example, let's say you go like you're tweeting, you're watching a soccer game. I'm going to make up an example because I don't want to try to riff like real things. Like you're like, I thought it was weird of Pele to
Pele. I would go with Pele too.
I tried to pick a topic that wouldn't be distracting.
Yeah. Just generic soccer. Nothing current.
Cast your memories back to the early 70s.
You want to go with Ronaldo? You go with Ronaldo over here.
I'm I'm as interested in you guys about Deflategate, but I thought it was weird of so and so to hand out such and such, some comedy formula. So you tweet that, it's like a joke. So then there's like 8 replies underneath that where people who simply read what you said, and apparently assumed that what you are in their life is just like some piece of driftwood that provides just fucking unentertaining information. And they're just like, they got their blinking tie on and they're just like, hey, what's that you say? You say that? Well, how about I connect it to that? Hey, what are you? Hey, Howie, haka waka waka. And it's like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I just said my joke is dry and subtle and like should be recognizable as a joke.
Blinking tie, that's what I would have gone with in the 80s.
Merry Christmas.
The guy with the blinking tie.
I was like
You got Pele, blinking tie.
I guess you'd have to think of a real example. Well, God,
No,
it happens like
exactly
9 times a day.
Anytime you do anything that teeters towards satire or irony, someone's going to absolutely,
totally misinterpret it.
Absolutely think, like, just read it literally.
And then make their own joke. There would be nothing, absolutely nothing. In fact, it would be shameful. It would be market research, for instance, to find out that if somebody was like, what do you mean? That doesn't seem like a good thing for Pele to do at all. And you go like, you know what? My joke didn't land. Thank you, sir. Like you know what? That's 1% of the audience, but it still counts for me. Like I'm gonna work hard. I'm a Kindler about it. I'm a Kindler. And but it's the thing that fucking it just scrambles my circuits is when somebody's like Pele, more like melee, since you and you're like, wait, but it doesn't. You can't. No, you're using my launch pad is not your point of departure. It's fictional. I made a joke. You live in a joke world. You're satirizing a joke universe. You didn't even think about anything. You're just connecting words. It's just insane. And what do you say? You can't say. I just don't know what to do. And everyone goes like, "You didn't do anything. Why are you on Twitter? You're such a loser. Why are you on Twitter?
I love when people say that.
Why are you having a meltdown? Why are you wasting your time talking to me? That says a lot about you. Oh, look at you. You're gross. You know what? You're a piece of shit. Did you like making that guy feel bad? Well, guess what? You're fat." Oh, so it's bad to make us. Yeah, nice try, but what you did was unacceptable. But you're fat, and you're not funny, and your show got canceled, and you're not like, I know what you're trying to do, and it doesn't feel like anything. That's my point. I can't feel. How much clearer could I be that I ran into the streets and smashed a Ferrari that was driving by and plucked the least likable background person that existed in that moment and bit its head off after saying, I'm going to bite this guy's head off. Do you know why? Because I'm getting a divorce and I'm very unhappy with myself. Good thing it happened to the one fucking guy that deserved it. Hilarious. Don't follow me if you don't like it. Don't fucking, but all of the fucking like this weird like contingent of people like, oh, I saw the Paste magazine article. I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? I am so sorry that the shit I go through in my kitchen at 3 a.m. ends up in something called Paste magazine. I am not complaining about that at all. However, I will tell you, that has nothing to do with me. Your relationship with Paste magazine is not my fucking problem. Starting with the fact that this is where you get your news. And ending with the fact that you follow people you hate. And that you seek to destroy them by being so mean to them. And that you're so bad at it that I just want to kiss you. Because you can't even hurt my feelings. Chevy Chase? Oh, that hurts so bad. You're right. I am so famous. I really am so untalented for how much money I have. You're doing great. Have you considered being Hannibal Lecter? You really got that saying exactly what's going to undo them thing down. No Nobody. I went and sat on my back patio, and I was watching my dogs take a shit after 48 hours of me going like, I did this, and then people are like, I saw that article in HuffPo, and you're a bad person. I'm like, again, I don't know what you're talking about. This is my only place. I fucking said, I'm going to pull this kid's legs off. Then I did it. I went back through it several times. It's very funny. I feel nothing. It's my whole point. I said it. I've never been more confident in anything I've done in my entire life. Like, what is the opposite of a meltdown? A build-up? I built up. What? Giant roach. Okay.
Where is that?
As long as it's something that never happens in LA and was worth derailing a god. I made that roach.
See, you're contrite about it, at least. That's nice.
No, I'm not.
I'm joking.
Like, I am not at all, because like I said, I went through it. I'm like, no, it's just funny. It was like an art piece. Like, I don't know this person. Why are people so rude to each other? And I kept saying to people over and over again, hey, it's weird. It's almost like you shouldn't be mean to people. You never know when someone's going to be really good at it. It's crazy. Well, that's why I'm not mean to people. I've never said a bad thing to fucking this guy. Terrifies me. Like, if you want to be on Andy Kindler's bad side? Like, bad idea. It's terrible. So I'm polite.
He's like, it's like Rommel would say.
Well, Rommel would say, hey, look, Richardson, you know how we're going to be protected on this mission? We're in a tank. Calm down.
I like that one of the Nazis takers is Richardson. He should have been spotted for the English spy he was.
I like that. I also like that Rommel has this really intimate relationship where he's like, look, I'm fighting Patton over here. We're playing a game of human chess on the order of millions, but this fucking Richardson guy.
Richardson.
I can't help it. I'm Rommel. I play to the guy in the back.
I don't trust this new Churchill who's on the crew.
Okay, guys, we're going to take the flank. There's going to be a sacrifice of human life, but you should think about it as laying a carpet down for 1,000-year Reich. Richardson, so help me God. Don't you give me that fucking look. What would I do? What would I do? Richardson, you know what you do.
Hey, Greenberg, you look nervous. What's the problem, Greenberg?
Would you stop sweating? Why are you so nervous all the time?
You're like a Jew. If I didn't know better, I think you were a Jew.
So help me Christ if we get through this and we successfully cleanse the globe of every race other than white people. I will personally make sure that your children are paired in a way that makes them the new minority. And it won't be hard because all science points to the idea that exogeny is the key to genetic health.
General, sorry to interrupt you. You're wanted on the front right now. I hate to interrupt you with talking to the...
Are you doing something real, or is this part of the bit?
I was just saying...
Are you doing Rommel? Is that Rommel?
I'm saying... I'm an adjutant. I'm an aide de camp. And I'm saying Rommel... I know how...
Oh, at the front.
Yes.
I thought you meant the front of the bookstore.
No, the front... You're the general.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's a war happening, and we need you out the front. You're kibitzing.
You know what? That's the last thing I need right now is your aggravating war news. That's Rommel.
You're the general of the African
I can't
Corps.
I can't hear it right now. I'll be in my even more protected quarters of the tank.
I want to know what you thought it could have been in the front of the room.
Yeah.
When you thought Jeff was saying, "Hey Andy, there's someone." Wait, did you think it was like?
Did you? I think the Anti-Defamation League or.
little too much Netanyahu talk. Well,
or finally Adam Sandler comes down to confront me.
There's just a coalition there. And they all have like great biceps.
Leno's out there.
Wait, Leno.
Hey.
What are you doing here?
Hey, did you like comedy? Hey, Dan Harmon. I love that guy. Dan Harmon. Yeah, the guy with the podcast. Sure. Yeah. Just write jokes.
Well, Leno, do you know why you're here?
No. I gotta go. You see, I got a roadster outside. If anybody wants to look at that.
Hey, Leno.
Do you know that Jay Leno has a car that runs on his patented head shake?
That's renewable energy. That's a green source.
He's leaving only footprints.
This car's just fun. This car, I keep my hamburger buns in it.
Leno, can I get in your car and just take one quick ride?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Wow, this is amazing. This car looks great.
Can you believe it? It almost makes up for my lack of personality.
How about one of my favorite things you ever did? You were at Igby's and you went off on Dennis Miller for 100 years.
Hey, look, it's like Crime and Punishment with Karalshnikov, and
He's so sad now. He sells smart. You listen to him on AM radio? Do you ever? I do sometimes when I'm driving home. Oh God, he sells something called Smart Mouth. Like he sells these products, and you know he hates doing it. But he's like, yeah, Smart Mouth, like a breath ashore type thing. Because he's got a smart mouth. It's a marriage made in heaven.
Oh, synergy,
conservative heaven.
If you like synergy, baby.
Synergy.
I haven't seen this much synergy since Pepsi turned out to be the most favorite soda in Back to the Future 2.
Yeah. Look, Heisenberg. The only uncertainty I see is some other reference that really. But he also goes. He says, "Yeah, but how can you be doing comedy for 30 years?" But
was he a switcher? Was he liberal when?
Well, here's the truth. I think the truth is that he used to. Kevin Rooney was the guy who used to work on his show, and I think Kevin Rooney was very politically aware. But I don't think Dennis Miller was ever that politically aware. But he was funny.
Right.
The black and white movie.
But he was like a liberal guy, right? Like I thought I remember that.
I think he was a faux liberal. I think he was always.
He was a people pleaser, which that's good enough for me. that's you're done as a liberal. Like just be a people pleaser.
Well, I thought he was always unpleasant.
No, but I mean he was trying. I mean that was his goal. I'm saying like if that's your goal, then you're fine because that will lead you to all the right votes and all the right behaviors. Like. Right? Otherwise, you're going like, well, I gotta protect me and mine. Or like, okay, well now you're getting into.
Yeah, he lives up. I mean, it's just unbelievable. This guy lives rich, filthy rich. Lives up in Santa Barbara, but he's still miserable since 9/11. Miserable, like it was personal.
Since 9/11.
No, that's it. That was what it was.
Are you
that
sure
turned
he didn't
him.
get miserable and then use that as like I'm using my divorce? I'm just like I'm getting divorced. Like, come on, you were already a piece of shit. These colors don't run.
Andy, you were in San Francisco, right? Or no, L.A.
Where did I start, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm from New York, but I started out in L.A.
Okay, so you weren't one of the San Francisco.
No, but I knew. But I used to go up in the late 80s and early 90s and knew all those guys when they were living up there. David Feldman and Brian Posehn and all those guys. Yeah.
What was that like? I hate to dwell on because I'll never. Dennis Miller, I remember his special, Mr. Miller Goes to Washington. Do you remember that?
Is this after the change?
I don't think it was. No, it was way before 9/11. Is that what you mean?
I don't remember that change. Yeah.
Well, I don't know where the change happened. That's why I'm asking. So I don't know.
No, it was after 9/11 because he used to have his most famous one is it's in black and white is the funniest one. But I don't even know if that would be funny if I watched it now.
Was he like? Could he have a conservative slant in that? I'm just so curious about Dennis Miller's political.
I think he was more like he would be liberal, like about gay issues and things like that. But then he would be like, let fry him. One of those,
right? So like libertarian, like that's why it's like so liberal gives way. It's like yeah, hey, like who cares about gay people as long as I got money? Boom.
Right, but also he had great writers on the old Dennis Miller show. So I think people thought that he was a politically aware guy. I don't think he really ever was. I think he's a guy who knows references but doesn't really know what they mean necessarily. What is this like calling in a Scots?
He's like Hal.
Right. Hal. He's like an encyclopedic memory for any reference.
Oh.
Like a Roy Rogers all of a sudden triggers on vacation there. And
I hate those people.
Look, Marlena Dietrich. Like that.
These people don't even care. Nobody cares about him anymore.
No,
that's the nice thing. That's the thing that's great about it.
Who do you think is funny right now? Who do you think is kicking ass?
I love Adomian, James Adomian. There's so many great people. Maria Bamford. There's so many great people. My mind. Ron Funches.
Oh, yeah?
Sheila McRae! Connie!
Cheers to Andy Kindler for keeping a gender balance, and his shout out to young comics of the day.
Yeah.
Cheers to the same Kindler for evoking the ghost of pirates. Shiver me keer!
Shiver my timbers!
The pieces of 8 will be on your pox. I will guard this locker with me very barnacle-laden soul. Plus, this airline food is unacceptable.
If you could resurrect Andy, like somebody dead, like a dead comic, you could go see him do a set right now. If you could bring anybody back,
I would pick Lenny Bruce because the only thing that I've seen is, and I actually enjoy it, but a lot of people don't like it, is the performance film, which is the last.
Yeah.
So, and I've seen things on Steve Allen, but like Richard Pryor, we have that concert film, which is still the greatest thing of all time. I think that specially made, but we don't have that of Lenny Bruce as much, except on the record.
Yeah.
So I'd love to have seen him in the club.
Yeah, the stuff I've seen of Lenny Bruce, like you don't like, it doesn't match up with how funny he was to people that you know or like what they're talking about. They saw him perform live. Like their relationship with Lenny Bruce is way different than what I get.
Or the movie Lenny, for example,
Yeah.
which is like nothing like Lenny Bruce at all. It's
What
like-
about Bill Hicks? You must have.
I got
crossed his
to
path.
work with him. I was very lucky. I got to work with Bill Hicks the week after he got sober in 1988, 3 weeks in a row. And he had just gotten, and he was like kind of so angry and so hilarious. Like one night I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He goes, "Yep, next week I'll be on Letterman. You people will still be here in this shithole."
He got so activated. Have we? Because I saw that documentary about him that was like largely pictures. Did you see that one?
I haven't seen that.
It's like the myth of Bill Hicks. I will very, very readily accept that the myth is 100% and more like accurate. But I also wonder, do comics need that figure in their life of the guy that went rogue and became the funniest guy in the world, and then
pass away? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like a lot of people see him and they go. I mean, I think he's one of these things like people who did see Lenny Bruce live or did see. I mean, Bill Hicks live was unbelievable because he was so seamless. He was so like seamless in that he was talking to the crowd the way he would talk, and so I think that might be missed if you see his stuff on video.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, he has a lot of stuff on that he filmed, but
and people get caught up in the I don't know. They get caught up in the fucking like. People,
well, a lot of comics tried to be like him too.
Well, that's the worst of them all. Yeah. Oh, I did stand up when I was in Milwaukee in the post Bill Hicks fucking mayhem.
Right. Everybody had the.
I was like, dude, you're not that mad about anything. You love cheese curds so much. You were so funny 8 minutes ago talking about how much you love cheese curds.
Your entire club was bricks everywhere. Not just the wall.
No, you couldn't even find a door to save your life. That's what drove Bill Hicks out of his mind. Yeah, it's like,
you started in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Dan, do you remember any of your openers? Do you have an opener?
Oh, come on, Jeff. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
What is it?
Like I have never.
I'm not saying do it. I'm saying I'm not saying you must do one. Do you remember any of them?
I don't. Like I'm going to say no, and here's why. It's 10 o'clock, and I'm ashamed of one thing in my life, and that is my stand-up set when I was 17.
Yeah, but the lucky thing though was that we didn't have cameras like now.
It's like you're putting out some challenge for anyone in Milwaukee that has. There's footage.
Oh, there is?
Don't.
See, did you have an acid wash jacket that you wore on
worse.
stage?
I had a terrible act. Like it didn't matter.
Well, everybody's everybody's act.
Yeah.
I'm so
okay.
I watched an old footage of me. There used to be a club called Rascals Comedy Club, and they somehow. I remember signing the release. I could see my face as I signed it. But it was like, so they have all this footage of when I had first started. And so I was scared to death. But I did see a joke I liked, which was, like in 1989, I wrote the joke, Jews are obsessed with Hitler because we can't remember anything about the Pharaoh. So like, that holds up. That holds up. But
Yeah.
I also did a lot of horrible material.
I find that joke too topical.
I absolutely promise you that it's like. But in the story of my life is that I would go like, no, you'd hate it, and people would like dig it up, and they'd go like, wait, that's awful. I'd be like, motherfucker, I
told you.
I buried one thing, like, and I asked you to bury it.
Is there? And again, I'm not saying do it. Is there a joke that you're proud of? You remember that? Did you have one that you think might still hold up?
No.
None.
No. Okay, highlights that I remember. I used the C word in my act. Like, a lot. I thought at 17 the reason unsuccessful comics didn't use it and Andrew Dice Clay did is because he was smart and brave. And I used the C word in a giant chunk of my bit about how I didn't like women at my college that were of a certain category that were doing
what
certain
would you
things.
call them sometimes?
Just for
Were they unpleasant? In what way?
I did then I would talk about jerking off for a while, which is like fine. We're in safe territory. Like that's fine. Like just punish yourself. But then I would at the time Jeffrey Dahmer had just eaten a bunch of people, so I had a lot of Dahmer jokes.
Talk about your lean cuisine.
Rommel!
The guy was 90 pounds.
Your lips to my set list, Andy
Rommel.
Kindler. None of them that funny.
We're having someone's jowl again, or something. I don't know.
And then I would close. I closed with a. It wasn't a rap. It was a song. It was like a. I don't know what my premise was. I don't know why it was in the country western theme. It was a song about masturbation, and I would make the audience would clap, and I would sing the song. It was me rhyming about masturbation.
Yeah, but you were 17, right?
Yes,
but what
I
if you
was.
Were wearing,
I wish I was 16.
But what if you've been wearing what did you expect? You're not going to wear an ascot and smoke a pipe at that age.
But all I'm saying is just that like I'm like everybody loves to like talk about how bad they were and all this stuff. It's like like you know, have you ever been genuinely ashamed? Like you're just like no, this isn't cute. Like it's like fucking like holy shit, this is shameful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how could anybody not have those experiences unless were a genius the first time or something like that? I don't know why.
And who were those people? I don't know. But here's the thing. Like, Schraub, my friend Rob Schraub, he was doing stand-up at the same time. A couple years older than me, which I will now emphasize. But like when we talk about, remember we did stand-up and it was so we were so unfunny. Like here's Schraub's version of the hack years in Milwaukee. Schraub's bits were like what if the bat signal came on while Batman was taking a shit? That's good bad. Like oh my god, that if Aaron Sorkin wrote a movie and you fucking panned through a club about Rob Schraub, it's like, oh, here I am doing my bad stand up. And he would do his other bit was like, Tonto and Bones from Star Trek, their main job was telling their boss that people were dead, and then he would talk about that, and then he would do a split screen effect where he would do him dead Kimosabe, he's dead Jim, him dead Kimosabe, like, and it was like he called out the split screen, and it was 1991, and it was awesome. And it was like, this guy is so funny. And now it's like, oh, remember we were bad stand-ups? No, I was saying the C word. And I was doing country western songs and making people clap about Dahmer. Like, it was like, there's a kind of bad that makes you like
finish all the person on your plate. Boom, boom.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to Harmontown.
Spencer Crittenden. He really did it.
I love it. Andy Kindler, everybody. Thank you, Spencer. I'm Jeff Davis. One more time for your mayor, Mr. Dan Harmon.
Yeah! Dan Harmon!
Hey, we're going to be in New York. Talk about New York for a second. Yeah. Because we sold out the first New York show, so we did a second one the night after, and we're pretty concerned
what are the dates? November?
I don't know. But
Steve.
13th and 14th. So come to I think 13th is sold out already? And so if you're around the East Coast and want to come out, or if you have a lot of discretionary funds and want to fly yourself out first class, guests of Harmontown will stay at the Ritz-Carlton.
And if you're at the first show and you're like, hey, I think I'll come to both. The one upside of having no act is that you won't hear anything twice.
Yeah.
Please come to both shows.
Also, second show, clothing optional.
Andy Kindler, everybody.
Thank you guys. Drive fast and take chances.
Did you get any of that?
It's a good show.